For a family who wants to hold on to their secrets and lies, I don't understand why you would do reality TV. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video, The Braxtons Season 2, Episode 3. Yes, I know I'm just jumping in and y'all gonna have to catch up with me, okay? I watched episodes 1, 2, so I can reference them back in this review. So we picking up on episode 3. We definitely got some things to get into, but if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm doing well. I know I asked if y'all wanted me to review this and y'all said yes. And so here I am. I was supposed to have the video up for y'all yesterday, but I ended up getting a really, really bad migraine and it just was not happening. So here we are, better late than never. So the episode basically opens up with the sisters at the round table with the clip that has been going around the internet for the last couple of days, okay? I'm going to get into that, but I'm going to wait to really get into that until we get to the end of this episode, okay? So we just going to pick up where we see Trina leaving the bachelorette party because she has to go home to go check on Vine. So she left Towanda's bachelorette party and she didn't even tell Towanda that she was leaving, which I thought was crazy. Now, I can understand her not wanting to tell her so that she won't get all riled up and worked up and worried, but to just like disappear is crazy. But I'm pretty sure production filled her in on what was going on. So Vaughn said that he knew that if he would have told her that he was having some type of pain or discomfort or whatever, that she wasn't going to go on a trip, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted her to go, he wanted her to have fun, and he was just going to get himself checked out on his own. So apparently he went to the urgent care, and the urgent care told him, you need to go to the hospital, because he said that every time he lays down, he can't breathe. When he went to the hospital, they ran some tests on him, and they found out that he had fluid around his heart and around his chest. Okay, he said that when they weighed him, he was 309 pounds. And when he left, after they drained everything out, he was 279 pounds. That is 30 pounds of liquid around his heart and around his lungs. Oh my God. Could you have imagined being in that much pain and discomfort and just being like, oh, I'm just going to go get checked out and realize that you are having heart failure? Like, oh my God. They told him that he has 90 days to correct this or he's going to have to get surgery. So Trina's like, I can't lose nobody else. I can't do it. I can't lose nobody else. We know that Trina has lost her ex-husband. We know that Trina has lost Tracy. So Trina can't deal with any more hurt and loss at this moment, especially because her mom is also keeping secrets about her health from her as well. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So of course they're going to start eating right and doing exercise and try to correct this. I really feel like they should have been doing this because when you get to a certain age, your health is automatically going to start declining. So you need to do everything that you can to preserve the organs that you have. And Trina and her husband be on the internet cooking, baby, okay? And I'm talking about cooking. So I'm not surprised that his health isn't that well. Toni is working on her set for the Jazz Fest, and she's going to be alone. She said that she's been in Vegas with Cedric the Entertainer, so this is her time being alone. She got a 45-minute set she got to do it by herself, and she don't really get no breaks. And we know that Toni has lupus, so for her, this is a big push. And then on top of that, she wants to be there for Towanda, but she really can't because she's booked and busy. So we know that Toni didn't go to Towanda's bachelorette party because she has to perform and get ready and things of that nature. But my thing is, I don't feel like Toni would have been that much fun at the bachelorette party anyway. Now, she said that she's going to try to make it to the bridal shower. Heavy on a try, because Toni don't go nowhere with these girls, okay? She already made it very clear that if they wasn't her sisters, she wouldn't even like them. She wouldn't want nothing to do with them. And she has shown that over and over again, that if these girls was not her sisters, that she would not communicate with them, hang out with them, or do nothing with them, because over the years, from watching Braxton's Family Values up until this, she barely does anything with them. Nonetheless, Tamar is doing an interview with T.S. Madison, and Tamar said that her and T.S. Madison have really, really great conversations, but they also have very, very necessary conversations on and off air. So she considers T.S. Madison to be one of her closer friends, right? So once the interview start rolling, T.S. Madison wants to get straight into the things of the things, because what's going on with that niece of yours, okay? Your niece is out here, putting out allegations against your sister's ex-husband. What's up? What's tea? Tamar said that she can't discuss this because she has been sent a cease and desist. And y'all know that Tamar feels a certain type of way about that cease and desist because she feels like they're trying to stop her bag. Not only that, but you're also trying to silence your niece. I see you, Tamar. I know where you're coming from. And we'll get into it when we get into it. But nonetheless, Tamar is so confused because she's trying to figure out why her family is doing this to her because she didn't blindside them. She told them what was going on. And she just feels like it's very messed up that they are trying to silence her. And I'm like, girl, not only are they trying to silence you, they're also trying to silence the niece. This family has some deep, dark rooted issues. Let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all remember when the Braxtons was on Ayanla Fix My Life. Tamar was at a point where I felt like she was about to expose some things that happened to her in her childhood. And you can see Miss E sit there and basically shut her up. It was definitely given what happens in the house stays in the house. And I feel like that has messed them girls up so bad, so bad. And we seeing it repeat itself when it comes to the niece. Even Trina, so I was like, I wish she would have came and talked to me first. You don't get to dictate how someone else deal with their trauma. And I would rather it be with family and let family discuss it with her than her to go on somebody else's show. Because trust and believe, I'm sure anybody would have picked that story up. But we're going to move on. So Maddie told Tamar that her co-host said that he feels that this family loves drama. She said that she feels like him saying that their family likes drama is crazy offensive, okay? She also told Maddie that she feels as though people want her to hold her accountable, but people need to understand that they are still human and they are the longest Black running family reality TV show on air as of today, right? Tamar not knowing whether or not they've been on the air for a century or a decade is hilarious to me, and I feel like it's so Tamar coded, okay? But nonetheless, she says we just have family drama just like everybody else have family drama. It just so happened that we are on TV. Let me tell you something. Tamar loves attention. Okay, so when Maddie asked her, does she know that she's good TV? Absolutely. So much so that even after like the first 2 seasons of the Braxtons, Trina, Towanda, and Tracy started low-key trying to act like Tamar. If y'all don't believe me, go back to those seasons and watch it. They used to try to be like Tamar so much, it aggravated me so bad, I almost wanted to stop watching. That's how good of TV Tamar is. And they lean into the drama. They eat it up because they know that it makes for good TV. But it's their drama. And just because we have drama don't mean we don't like it. But it also makes for good ratings and it also makes for good TV. So here y'all go on a platter. So they talk about whether or not, Tamar is the villain. And I'm like, Tamar has never been a villain. Let me put my Tamartian hat on real quick because I'm a Tamartian stan, okay? Now listen, Tamar was never wrong in a lot of them situations with her sisters. Tamar was the most dramatic, the most loud, maybe a little tad disrespectful sometimes, but her feelings were very much valid most of the time, okay? Like, why would that man sit there and propose to Trina on her birthday? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Why would they go ahead and all chip in on one gift for her or for her birthday as if they are not the Braxtons? Like they don't have money. It's given very much cheap, okay? And then they got her like some sunglasses or something, I can't remember, but like, come on, be for real. I understand a lot of the times where Tamar was coming from, and even as an adult watching some of the clips back, I'm like, yeah, I know I wasn't tripping. I mean, she was extra, she was dramatic, but it makes perfect sense. Tamar was never really the villain, but if y'all want to get into it, it's given that Towanda. Towanda has been the one stirring the pot for years, okay? But a lot of people fed into it because they tried to make her out to be the villain. And it doesn't help, okay? It does not help that online, Tamar does a lot, okay? If we just talking about the show, she's not the villain. Now, if we take her out the show, we got a whole different Tamar that loves the drama and the attention, okay? But nonetheless, I will agree that her sisters had put the villain cape on her. And now I feel like a lot of people are starting to open up when it comes to the dynamics of the sisters, that Tamar isn't the villain that everyone wanted to make her out to be, right? Right. Okay. So let's move on. So Towanda is going to get her dress fitted, right? Now she said that the doctor told her she could get surgery or she could get a cast, and she opted for the cast because she don't want to get a surgery. Right. And I'm not mad at her for opting for the cast, but I wouldn't want to be in a cast in my wedding. But nonetheless, the stylist is sitting there confused because he felt like he had a couple of months. Come to find out they got a couple of weeks. And I'm trying to figure out how long has Towanda been planning this wedding? How long? Because I feel like this feels rushed. I don't know if I missed something. I don't know the significance of the date, but everybody's trying to tell Towanda to pause this, get things together, and then come back so you can have the wedding of your dreams. But she is hell bent on having it around this time. And the thing is, it's Tamar's birthday time. Towanda, why do I feel like you always doing something sneaky and something shady a little bit? Because what's the significance of this date? Now, if there is a reason for them to have it on this day, then by any means necessary. But if I'm planning my wedding, I'm not trying to do it around my sister's birthday and my mother's birthday and my friend's birthday, because I want us all to celebrate me and not have to split up that celebration with anyone else, right? And I feel like you know that that's your sister's birthday time. Why would you want to have your wedding around her birthday time? And how long has this been in the works? Because God knows, what if Tamar had already planned a trip for her birthday in the beginning of the year and you just spring a wedding into it? I don't know, Towanda, this feels very, very, very much shady. And I'm just trying to figure out what's your end goal, because I've been watching you move over the last couple of years and I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. But nonetheless, she's getting emotional, right? She's getting emotional because she feels like her sister should be there for her. And this brings me back to my point. How long have you been planning this? Because if you have been planning this for over a year, I can understand why you feel like everybody should be showing up. But if you just sprung this on these girls a couple of months ago, so much so that the designer of your dress doesn't even know when your wedding is it really fair? Is it really fair? It's not. But I can understand why you would feel some way, and your feelings are valid. But did you give them the time to actually be able to show up for you? So now she's trying on these dresses and she wants to wear purple and brown. Lavender and brown. The first dress she put on was, take that shit off. Take that ish off. Because girl, what was that? It looked crazy on her. I don't know if it's because she don't got no hair or what, but it looked crazy on her. The dress was not the dress, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I did love the skirt. I did love the sparkles of it all and the little wraparound piece. But I feel like the wraparound piece is missing something. Even once I saw her walk down the aisle, because the pictures have now been released, I still feel like the skirt thing is missing something. But overall, she looks beautiful and the body is tea. I'm happy that she got the wedding that she wanted, okay? Even though everybody wanted her to postpone it, and she felt like instead of people wanting her to postpone her wedding, they should be helping take some things off her hand. Literally. And that's low-key why Towanda made everybody a lady of honor for her wedding. So this way, everyone has an equal obligation to help pitch in for it. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So now Trina is cleaning out the fridge because she got to get all this food out the house so that they can start eating healthy so that Von can live, okay? So he can see another year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's having a hard time because he's talking about some, oh, you didn't tell me we was doing this. You should have ran this by me. Excuse me, sir, do you want to live or do you want to die? It's really that simple. Do you want to live or do you want to die? Because you just got 30 pounds of fluid removed from around your heart and lungs, and you over here talking about some, you should have ran this by me. I don't know if I can do it without the apricots. I can eat some every now and then and again. No, 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 no. 90 days is all you have, or you won't have to get heart surgery, sir. Do you not understand how intense this is? You should be eating nothing but fruits, veggies, and protein at this point. No sugar whatsoever, no caffeine, no nothing. Oh my goodness. I was sitting there so disappointed in him having a little tantrum over some food that can cost him his life. Let's move on. So apparently Miss E got a blockage in her heart, okay? She said that she was supposed to be going into the hospital for some tests. That's what she told them. Okay, but Logan went to Tamar at night and was like, we need to pray because grandma getting heart surgery. Tamar said, what? Who? Heart surgery? Are you kidding me? So of course she called her sisters up, and her sisters stopped by the hospital while Tamar stayed in the hospital with her mom so that they could figure out what's going on with her, okay? Trina's trying to figure out why the hell everybody hiding their medical issues. Like, you need to tell your family what's going on with your health. And I totally agree. I totally agree. And you know what? It's not uncommon for people to lie about their health issues, but I really feel like if you're going to be honest with someone, please be honest with the people who are responsible for you. If Miss E had the time to tell Logan, she could have told Tamar. Like at what point do we stop doing this? And we already found out that she had a stent in her heart before, and that's when she had a stroke. So you mean to tell me that you going in for tests and you don't even let people know I'm going to get some tests done? I'm going to, just so everybody can be aware? You too old for that, Miss E. You too old for that. But nonetheless, she's in the hospital. She was laying in that bed. I was sitting there like, oh my God. It really was like a hard watch because I hate this. I hated seeing her like that because I'm like, ooh, I hope whatever she's going through, she pulls through, even though we know she's going to pull through. Tamar is sitting there with her, making sure that she's okay. She's telling her that she's famous. Miss E wakes up. She wants food. And I'm like, this is why y'all in the hospital now. This You don't need none of that food they talking about. But nonetheless, Miss E is doing fine. So Miss E is home and the girls are about to stop by to come visit her. But Towanda wanted to call her on a FaceTime to check up on her. And she's like, oh, how you feeling? Miss E's like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling well. She was like, good. I got my marriage certificate. And I'm like, did you really care about your mother or did you really just want to say that you got your marriage certificate? Because like Towanda, I get it. I get it. You getting married. You're engaged. You get your marriage certificate. I get it. You are excited. But girl, your mother was just in the hospital with a heart blockage. You asked her how she was doing and she said okay, and you went on to talk about you. And you know what? I feel like Towanda feels like this is her time. I think she's been overlooked so much amongst her sisters that she feel like her wedding should be this grand thing and everybody should cater to her and everybody should worship her because now it's her turn to have all the attention in the spotlight. And unfortunately, she's still not getting it. Damn, that gotta suck. That gotta suck real bad. But nonetheless, they hang up, and Toni comes in, and Toni sits down, talks to Miss E, and asks her, like, how are you really doing? How's everything going? Miss E is like, look, they telling her that she might have another blockage, but they didn't want to do the dye again because too much of the dye in the system could cause kidney issues, and so she didn't want to do that. So Tamar and Trina shows up, and they telling her, like, why you didn't tell us that you was going to the hospital? Miss E told us, so I was going to get some tests. I didn't know it was going to be, a surgery or anything. So if you didn't know it was going to be a surgery or anything, how did Logan know? That's what I want to know. Questions that need answers. You didn't know, but Logan knew. Okay. So they telling her, like, next time, I don't care if you going in for a test or whatever you got going on. It's okay if you tell Logan, but we would like to know as well. Now, Toni said that everybody should know that Miss E is number one priority. And I'm like, to who? To who? Child, because Trina is stressed out between her mother and her husband. And Tawanda's getting ready for a wedding. She don't care about nothing that's going on with your mama. But that's neither here or there, right? So now all the ladies pull up to this round table scene that I hope we finally get to watch next episode. But let's just start at the beginning of this table, right? So Towanda sits down and she acts like she can't get the salt because she's engaged. I told you she feels like, this is her time to shine. This is her moment. Cater to me, all the things, because she's never had that at all. Okay, so all the ladies are sitting down at the table and Toni's like, Towanda, what you eating? Towanda was like, clams. And she was like, oh, I wish I could eat some, but I can't because they too slimy. So then Tamar was like, but don't you got a man? And she was like, and so what's that supposed to mean? You know what that's supposed to mean, Toni? That do you be giving head? Do you? But I'm like, you can give head without having to swallow. You know what? Too much. Nonetheless, Tamar says that, she's celibate. And Toni was like, you was married a year ago. And I'm like, Toni, haven't you been divorced before? You do know that when people are still married, that sometimes they's not having sex. You've been married. You know that people are not always having sex every time they in a relationship, especially before they're about to get divorced. Okay, now let's not act crazy. But nonetheless, Towanda starts talking about the wedding planning and how everything's going. And Tamar was like, but shouldn't you have made an honor there to help take that off you? And Toni said to Tamar, like, I thought you was. She said, no, I've been relieved from my duties. And Towanda said, everybody was. And I'm sitting here like, Towanda, why did you make everybody a lady of honor? Why did you make everybody a lady of honor? You didn't want to make one person feel more special than the other or what? And I'm still confused because Tamar made a whole video accepting the lady of honor or maid of honor or whatever you made her, and you still didn't respond. The least you could have told her was like, oh no, it's not just one maid of honor. Everybody's a lady of honor. So that she not out here sending out special, thank you videos and telling you that she'd love to be your maid of honor. Like, girl, that's the least you could have did. Towanda just moves foul. How do you expect for anybody to show up for you, but you don't talk to them or communicate with them? How? Anyway, so Tamar brought up how she was uninvited to Tulum, and Tawanda's like, so who told you that? Because I was told that you didn't want to film with us. And Tamar was like, well, I didn't want to film with y'all because y'all sent me a cease and desist and tried to destroy my business. Now, hear me out. Hear me out real quick. Real quick, okay. I don't know who sent the cease and desist. But Trina got something to do with it. Did y'all not see Trina's face? Trina got something to do with it. I don't know who sent it. Tamar said the family attorney sent it, okay? Now, Towanda and Toni don't know nothing about this allegedly. Nobody knows where this came from. Tamar done pulled out the envelopes and she's showing them like, this is the family attorney. I don't care what y'all say, okay? Trina got something to do with it. And that makes me so disappointed in Trina. And the way Trina has not been standing up for her niece is crazy. You know what you experienced with that man, and half of us do too because we watched it go down on national television, okay? We know that he was not a perfect man, and we know that that man was flawed as hell. And for you to sit there and protect him, didn't he have like a porn addiction or something like that? And you want us to believe that he wasn't inappropriate with your niece? And instead of you having your niece back and standing up for her and standing with her, you decide to act like, oh, he needs to be here to tell his story. That's never going to happen. I never thought I would feel this way about Trina Braxton out of all the Braxtons. But she has really, really, really disappointed me the most. And she's sitting there and she's letting all of this happen, and she knows she got something to do with it. Now, I'm not saying she's the only one for sure, but she's sitting there watching Tamar and Toni get heated to the point where they're about to start fighting. Toni be like, don't mess with Toni Braxton. Don't mess with Toni Braxton. God, give me the strength. And Tamar like, give you the strength and the muscles. And I'm sitting here like, woo! Now, let me tell you something. I will say that I appreciate that Tamar treats Toni Braxton like her sister and not like a celebrity. The rest of them worship the ground that Toni walks on. Toni could do no wrong. Tamar is the only one that treats Toni Braxton like a sister. And I can appreciate that. Now, that is your older sister, so you might need to pipe down just a little bit, okay? And she has done a lot for y'all. But Toni tried to flip it to make it seem like, oh, you trying to say I ain't never been there for you? You trying to say I ain't never been there for you? Because if it wasn't for Toni, y'all wouldn't have this platform. So that's her basically putting y'all on. We get that. But we talking about how Tamar is out there trying to give your niece a voice. And everybody is acting like they don't know what's going on and they want no parts of it. And here's my thing. People will say that Tamar's trying to exploit her or whatever the case may be. But my thing is, if the girl's going to tell her story, she's going to tell her story regardless. I'd rather it be with her family. I'd rather it be with someone who can actually sit with her outside of this and talk to her and know the ins and outs of everything. I'd rather it be Tamar, whether y'all feel like it's exploitation or not. She's going to get her story out regardless. So why not do it with family? And what I will say to Towanda, if someone is accusing you of stealing, Tamar said that you have stole from me. And you talk about, and what did you steal? It's given very much you steal. Because why is that the rebuttal? The rebuttal should have been like, I didn't steal anything. And it's crazy because you are about to marry a man and you still had to get help from Tamar to put money down on your house. Did she take care of you and Andre before? Now she got to take care of you and your new husband. It's not making sense. It's just not all making sense to me. But we're going to get into the things of the things, okay? We're definitely going to get into it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about everything that happened. Don't forget to like the video, hype the video up, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.